I'll send the call. Hello.
Hello.
So, did you watch the video at all?
No.
Oh, so you're missing everything. And we already don't know very much.
Yep.
Okay.
I know nothing.
Yeah, they changed Novigrad Injustice. This card's kind of cool now.
Oh, what does it do?
10 provisions, spawn a Cleaver's Muscle to your melee row, then play a Bronze Dwarf from your deck.
Huh.
So there's no more double mercs, but it's cheaper, and you still thin.
That's interesting.
It's not like a... Yeah, it's not like a 12 provision thinning card anymore, which always felt kind of weird.
I'm not actually sure if that's better. It's probably better.
It's different.
But, like, it is different.
Like, obviously it's worse for the Dwarf deck, because you're not pulling double mercs. I think it's better for Syndicate.
Change out of 12. I'd rate it like a 7 out of 12.
Okay.
Alright. Is this where I just go through the entire changelog and rate cards out of 12?
If we had a changelog, we could do that. I don't think we have a changelog.
Yeah. Well, fuck.
Yeah, I know.
So,
what do you think about the new Passiflora?
the new Passiflora?
Yeah, it progresses whenever you play a Blind Eye. The prologue spawns a Sly Seductress, then you get a Passiflora Peaches, and then you gain 6 coins. 14 provisions.
Ah. That's new.
Yeah, it's just like a... It's a completely different card than the old scenario.
Yeah. So there's Louisa, and there's...
Caulk, Louisa, Adriano, Pickpocket.
Oh, Pickpocket counts?
It's a Blind Eye. Don't know why it's a Blind Eye, but...
Yeah, that's so funny to me. Something allure. Maybe.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, like, the old Passiflora was a card you didn't mind playing in round 1, because, like, A, won you round 1 if they didn't have artifact removal, and also gave you some carryover, and it was only 12 provisions. This is just, like, it's like a Masquerade Ball or a Siege. You don't want to play it early anymore.
Yeah. It is a different card, but it's also just got, like a Sly Seductress is pretty good.
Oh,
Sly
yeah.
Seductress as opposed to, like, a Swindle. And honestly, 6 coins versus Eavesdrop. Like, if you were playing Eavesdrop timed, you'd probably rather have an Eavesdrop, but, like, attached to a scenario, I'd rather have 6 coins most of the time.
Yeah, I think the big change is just the situations you want to play this card in. It's more of a finisher than a round 1 card now. Or more of a...
But it can also just be, like, it can still be a red coin, like, bully card.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a finisher, because it's got...
Yeah.
It spawns 2 engines still. You don't really want to play that in a short round.
It plays it the same way as, like, Masquerade Ball.
Yeah.
Whereas Passiflora played very differently before, where you just played it whenever. Or you could play it whenever. You didn't even feel that bad about playing it on Blue Coin a lot of the time.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like flavor-wise, I did kind of like that the Syndicate scenario wasn't just, like, spawning a bunch of units.
Yep.
So I don't really like that it's just, like, now it spawns a bunch of units, and then it's just, like, gain 6 coins, which is also, like, not even a unit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not trying to play a card. Because it felt like one of the, like, biggest challenges with scenarios was that they were trying to restrict their designs by, like, actually making them play cards.
Making them interactable with damage, yeah.
And, like, just, like, to fit the flavor of, like, you know, each chapter you play some bronze or something. And now it's just like, yeah, fuck that. Gain 6 coins. Pickpocket's not a card.
Yeah, that is weird that it isn't, like, spawn Pickpocket.
Yeah.
I wonder what their reasoning there was.
It could be spawn Swindle, but they decided to make Swindle gain 3 to 5 coins. Which is just... They just... I mean, I'm glad it's not a Swindle, but I feel like... I don't know. I feel like the template of the first Passiflora was better. Like, it felt like it had more of an identity, whereas now it's just like, hey, look, it's another giant value engine thing that you really want to bomb heaver.
Yeah, I would say the old Passiflora is probably the most unique of the scenarios, and now it's kind of like just brought in line.
Unique. Feign Death was pretty unique. Haunt was somewhat unique. There are a lot of cool things you could do with Haunt that nobody got to see because lol monsters.
Yeah, they also just didn't have a good way of proccing it multiple times. Like, A, they went too tall, and B, they didn't have...
The only way to do it was Death Shadow, and Kiki Queen existed.
Yeah.
So people mostly just did that instead. Honestly, that was a big advantage of Ruhin over Kiki Queen. I do feel like Ruhin might have had more potential than people were giving it credit for. Because it was kind of like once the Kiki Queen deck became widespread, people were like, yeah, why would you ever play Ruhin? But, like, being able to actually reliably haunt is a big power swing. It's harder to bleed because of that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But, nonetheless.
Let's see, what else was there? There's the whole Wild Hunt rework.
Wild Hunt rework. I just assumed they were never going to do that.
No, so there's this new gold card, Imlerith. I don't know if you've seen him before. Deploy.
Oh, no. Did they make him...
No. It's a 12 provision for 7. Deploy, set an allied unit's power to 7. If you have dominance, you just set a unit's power to 7.
Huh.
So if you have a 1 in play, he plays as a 13 for 12. It's pretty easy to get 1s in play.
As Wild Hunt?
As monsters.
What does Wild Hunt entail?
Nothing really.
That seems like a really clunky 13 for 12 in a faction where you can play like a 14 for 9.
I honestly see this as a Raucous Queen card more than I see it as a Wild Hunt card. Like, the dominance shouldn't really matter, right? Like, if you have dominance, your opponent probably doesn't have something big enough that you want to reset.
Setting to 7 is not a reset.
That's what I mean.
Setting to 7.
That's what I mean.
It's like...
They need to have, like, a
really shitty Bloody Baron.
They need to have, like, a 15 in play. And you still have to have dominance. And how often is that going to happen?
Wait. But... Okay, so you're saying if you don't have dominance, they're going to have something big to reset?
Exactly. Well, the only time you're going to get good value on this dominance is if they have something...
If they don't...
Yeah, if they don't have something huge. Or you have something that's way too big.
Yeah. I guess that makes a little bit of sense. So, like, in theory, it'll always play for, like, okay value. It's just I don't really see it as a payoff.
Yeah.
Like...
I don't think this card's particularly good. If it's going to see play anywhere, it's probably going to be in, like, either a deck that's playing Night Wraiths, or, like, some Raucous Queen deck that just wants another expensive card.
Unless they buffed a Raucous Queen, I think a Raucous Queen would be totally missing in action. I was not a fan of Swarm.
Really? I liked it last season. It was just NR that was a problem.
I tried it. It felt so miserable. Like, the unitless AQ deck felt not as bad, but then I just switched to Elder and it was better.
Really? I don't know. I was winning every game I was playing that wasn't against NR, but we queued into a ton of NR, so I had to stop playing the deck.
Yeah.
So then the Thrall got reworked, because they reworked all faction artifact removal for some reason. And they reworked into an incredibly unique card, if I can get to it. Very different than anything else we've ever seen, where he has Order on melee, damage a unit by 1, with dominance to damage a unit by 2 instead. Completely fresh, never before seen.
Absolutely never before seen. Definitely not literally Black Rayla.
It's literally Imlerith.
Wait.
They just moved the ability.
Oh, I think you were talking about like an Imlerith rework. I thought you were saying Imlerith... Wait. Oh.
It's literally Imlerith.
Oh, no.
We got another one of those coming up, don't worry.
Oh, good.
So Wild Hunt Hound got reworked.
So this is what you meant when you said that Gwent didn't do a very good job with faction identity. Because, like, Gwent at its best, I think, does a surprisingly decent job. It's just, like, 10% of the cards have any identity.
Wild Hunt Hound now has dominance at the end of the turn, boost self by 1. So it's a 5 provision Magni Division with, I guess, an easier condition. Like, kind of fuels itself, too, with dominance. I don't know.
It's an easier condition, but,
the more expensive is the problem.
I don't think 5 provision Magni Division is, like, what monsters need, though. Like, Darkane already feels clunky, and it's a 4P Magni Division.
Yeah.
Tied to vampires, but, like, as long as Andrega Larva exists, Magni Division is going to be kind of an underwhelming card in monsters.
The fact that it comes down as a 4 is so rough, too. Like, 5 provision cards are trying to get 7 value, and usually when they're an engine, they're getting 5/5 immediately, stuff like Archer or stuff like Necrorat.
It's like literal Vernosiel's Commando.
Yeah.
Except it's actually worse than...
Commando's a much easier condition.
I shit all over Commando. Commando feels so bad.
So then there's this other rework. This is also a very fresh and unique card that we have never seen before.
Oh, good.
We have Wild Hunt Warrior, which is deploy, damage an enemy unit by 1, and if you have Dominance, you damage it by 3 instead.
Oh.
Remind you of anything?
I mean, it vaguely reminds me of Striga, but I know there's something like... Oh! Okay.
God damn it.
What the fuck?
Did you just not know cards?
Oh no! I just fucking reverted it.
Well, it's back to 4 provisions, so it's actually good. It's a better card now, but they did just kind of take Wild Hunt Hound and put it on Wild Hunt Warrior.
Oh boy.
And yeah, that's the Wild Hunt rework.
Oh yeah. Why? Why would they do that?
They just thought it made more flavor sense on the Warrior than the Hound.
I mean, they're right, but you know what would make flavor sense for the Hound? Is if the Hound played like Biting Frost.
No, you can't do that. That would be a beta effect.
Yeah. What's hilarious is the Warrior having that also reminds me of Beta Warrior, which is actually what I'm such a Pepega, I forgot that's what Hound does. I was thinking you were describing Beta Warrior, and then I realized it was a very slightly different condition to deal 3 damage.
It was, well, it would boost if you hit something in Frost in Beta, right? You would boost by 2?
Yeah, I think. If you killed it or boosted in Frost.
Yeah, this rework's really cool. Ada Striga.
Yeah. Oh, what happened to Ada Striga?
5 power, 7 provisions, deploy, damage enemy unit by 2, dominance, damage it by 4 instead.
That is actually decent.
Yeah. So if you want to kill a 4 on an empty board, you have 5 power. So you naturally have dominance to kill a 4.
Yeah.
And it always plays the 7 for 7 at least.
Yeah.
And it's Thrive Curve. Ooh.
I mean, it's going into literal monsters, so...
The standards aren't very high.
It'll get played. It's like the only good card for removal in all of monsters, other than like maybe Natural Selection and AQ.
Yeah. 3 damage, it doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, there was She-Troll changed too. Now She-Troll boosts and your opponent's units die too. I don't know if this matters at all.
Yay.
It's still Rolock, still a 4 for 9, still dies to poison.
Yay.
Hame Scald now draws before discarding.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's quite a big deal.
Feels a lot better to play with, for sure.
Yeah.
Brockfar Hunter is Elven Swordmaster for discards now, no charges.
So it's cooldown. Oh, so it's like slightly better.
Yeah, it's cool. You can't stockpile charges anymore.
It's not. Yeah, it's not strictly better. It's.
In a lot of situations, it's worse. You can't like store 3 charges and kill something.
Yeah.
Demon Pirate Captain always deals point now, even if he doesn't have Bloodthirst.
Demon Pirate. Okay. Woo.
Remember when he was the best bronze in the game?
No, I didn't play during then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
He was pretty good when I came back, but like, not like best bronze in the game worthy, I would say.
Oh, yeah, they said they didn't want discard to be an archetype. That was the thing that they said out loud.
That's a thing they said out loud.
Yeah. Despite having, like, enablers and payoffs and...
That's,
Despite, like, being an archetype. They don't want it to be an archetype.
What the fuck? We need to... Yeah.
I think
There's
what they
a lot
mean
of
is they don't
cool-
want people to like build entire decks around discard. They just want it to be a package. But
Yeah, but they have fucking Bran. Literally requires your entire deck to be built around discard to not be a garbage leader.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about Bran. I thought it was like just like Scald and Morkvarg. Or Skirmisher.
Yeah, most discard decks don't play Bran. I ran into an iced discard deck that managed to igni my 2 Stephans behind a defender because he rezzed like a plunderer, and I didn't expect him to be an igni clown. And I hadn't used the Stephans yet. And then he proceeded to cam-beam me before I could use all of my leader points.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So Wild Boar got changed a bit. Now it's damage all damaged enemy units by 1, then just damage all enemy units by 1 as a 4 for 11.
What? Sorry, repeat that.
Damage all damaged enemy units by 1, and then damage all enemy units by 1. So it still deals 2 damage to all damaged units, but it also just deals 1 damage to all units.
But it got nerfed to 11.
Wasn't it already 11?
No, it was 10. They buffed it to 10.
Oh.
They buffed Wild Boar to 10.
Yep, and then it got nerfed to 11.
They thought it was deserving of a nerf to 11. That card was so far from playable.
I mean, to be fair, this is a pretty big buff. It compares pretty favorably to, like, Tin Boy.
Does it, though?
It's cheaper. Hits the whole board. You're in the Greatsword faction.
It is in the Greatsword faction, I'll give you that. But it's like...
I'm not big on this whole card being insane thing the chat's saying, but it's definitely much better than it was.
I would say it compares unfavorably to Heimdall most of the time.
I think I'd agree.
Yeah.
Heimdall just being a big body is so nice.
It's actually not totally terrible. Like, the more I think about it, like...
Yeah. Like I said, it compares favorably to
Tin
Tin
Boy.
Boy.
It does improve the card quite a bit. But it's... I mean, it doesn't... It's not obvious that it compares favorably to Tin Boy. Tin Boy gives you more power when you actually need, like, row punish. And it also hits the better row when you don't need row punish.
Yes, that's
Whereas
fair.
Wild Boar is, like, kind of awkward. And most of the time your greatswords don't live. Like, if you're putting all of your eggs into, like, cards being good because your greatswords live, like, generally those types of cards aren't really worth playing. Like, a lot of the greatsword enablers are standalone pretty good that you're competing with. Like, Heimdall's an okay gold. Delirium and especially Giga Scorpion. Like, Giga Scorpion just goes into every Skellig naturally, greatsword or not.
Yeah.
You know, Corsairs, boats are like standalone good bronzes.
Yeah, no, I see this getting... I see it being pretty easy to get, like, 12 to 15 value on a Wild Boar in a long round. Especially if you're trying to win round 1, it's just in your round 1 hand.
Yeah.
It's bad against, like, Syndicate, but it's really good against matchups you're already good against. Which I guess is a problem.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. I think it's a playable card now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, like, garbage tier anymore. I just don't see it actually improving the archetype. I just see it as an option for cards that already, like, for swapping out for cards that already exist.
So, Skjal is a 10 for 7 with Berserk 5, Destroy Self.
Oh, fun fact, you can now get the Bloodthirst 5 reliably for Warmonger. which is not actually good. I just wanted to point that out. Because that was the most hilarious, like, change. I guess Wild Boar Lugos could be a thing. That would be kind of funny. Like, I could see it in, like, Arnulf. Anyways, what was the... I'm too easily distracted.
I accidentally skipped Giant Boar. Giant Boar does the same thing on melee, but on ranged, he can instead boost himself by the amount an enemy unit is damaged. Still a 4 for 7.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So he now can play as on-crate Warcrier? Warcrier? I don't know what it's called.
I think it's Warcry. Yeah. I mean, the option ability is
fuck?
kind of nice. It doesn't have to be Warcryer. It can be the melee row one.
It's so bad. I've tried playing that bronze before. It's so bad. That card is miserable.
I think you're mainly putting this card in your deck for the melee row ability.
Which is miserable.
It's not that bad. I've played it. It's fine. You
I've
usually
played it. It's really bad.
keep in mind now there's a card that deals 1 to their entire board that isn't Samur from Tremors.
Wowie.
I don't know, if you deal 4 to something, you like play an Ifrit.
When you mentioned Stammelford's Tremors, that kind of makes me think less of Wild Boy. It's
a
like
4-point
you only
body,
get
man.
4 points to play Stammelford's Tremors. And then, like, maybe some shit will be damaged if you're lucky.
Look, chat wanted me to talk about this
If
card.
you're playing Great Swords, some shit will be damaged. But yeah, the boar is a no-go.
How about Skjall?
What does Skjall do?
It is Skellig as a Yigrin. It is a 10 for 7, Berserk 5, Destroy Self.
10 for 7, Berserk 5, Destroy Self. Huh.
So it's a Yigrin you can play as a finisher, but you're only getting 10 for 7.
That's interesting. I mean, I think it's good.
Yeah. Not a lot to say though.
Yeah. I don't know the type of deck it goes into necessarily. Probably more just like slammy. Could throw it in as a filler and like Gettineth or something. I mean, it's not really amazing air though. It trades pretty horribly with like Boiling Oil.
Yeah.
Or like.
Yeah, but the way you can play it last makes it kind of cool, or like take the round with it.
Yeah.
It has
You
that
can't
Yigrin
play
effect.
it last. You can't take the ground. It's another card for Hjalmar.
Like one of the most embarrassing things about playing
Skellig
Skellige this season is when you passed, or when your opponent passed up like 10 points, they just knew you couldn't do it if you didn't have like a great sword in play.
Yeah.
You had no reach if you didn't have engines. It felt so bad.
Yeah. This is true.
Aretuza Adept. Deploy.
It's well played, Saquon. Okay, sorry. God, it's late. Okay, Aretuza Adept.
Deploy,
We're
gain
gonna do
zeal
this.
if you control a mage. Order, ranged, give 1 charge to an allied unit, cooldown 1. So basically, they just they took away its natural zeal, and you have to have a mage to gain zeal.
Oh, so they just nerfed it?
They just nerfed it.
Why did they nerf it?
Same reason they nerfed Ardal.
Huh, God. God. What the fuck? Man. I speak good about them for like 1 patch. And this is what they repay me with.
Let's see, what else is here? Oh, Yavin only counts elves on the same row as him now.
Yavin only counts elves in the same row. That
Yeah.
seems kind of dumb. It's
Just
like,
lowers the ceiling a bit, makes you row stack in a deck that already wants to row stack. Whatever.
seems like such a lazy change. It also seems like an unnecessary change. I think elves were fine.
I kind of agree with
Like,
that second
I
part.
think
I don't know
the
about it being a
dynamic-
lazy change,
I
but
think the dynamic of just like you have a couple of golds that you have to play in like an elf round, but are very good when you have an elf round, like makes sense.
Yeah.
Like elf bronzes are pretty shit. You need those cards for elves to make sense.
oh yeah, Harold the Cripple ignores armor.
Woo.
Not excited, Mr. Greatswords?
Woo.
Weeping Willow and the Nilfgaard version of Weeping Willow both lost a point. They're 5s instead of 6s.
Weeping.
The poison.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of sad, honestly.
Really?
Like those, I liked both of those cards.
I do too, but they're kind of overtuned. They're both very, very good.
They're both very good, but like, I don't think those were the poison cards to be nerfed. Like, is Willow really as overtuned as, like, Fledgling?
No, people were complaining about poison, so they made changes to poison cards.
Yeah.
What did you expect?
That's why it's kind of, like, disappointing to me, because, like, they couldn't change poison. I feel like they could have changed, like, I don't know. I feel like the bronzes are much more problematic than the golds for poison.
Yeah, King Cobra lost a provision, and Mara lost a provision.
Yeah.
But
King Cobra losing a provision is good.
yeah.
That makes sense. It's a neutral card.
It is a neutral card.
It's clearly meant to be like a totally jank neutral card. I'm willing to bet CDPR thought it wouldn't be played.
Then they just kept printing more poisons.
Yeah.
Treant Boar gains Zeal if you control a Dryad now.
Treant Boar gains Zeal if you control a Dryad. That seems strong.
Yeah, 7 for
Treant
7.
Boar is like already a decent engine.
I think the only problem with it is it's your third Treant for Harmony.
I mean, you're not necessarily playing it in the Harmony deck. There are, like, you can play that in, like, Movement. Movement's not actually as terrible as people make it out to be. It's just there are so many broken ST archetypes.
Yeah, that's fair. I was thinking Harmony just because Harmony is the easiest one to have Dryads, but I guess Movement plays quite a few as well.
Yeah. I guess it's hard to... Harmony, like, makes the buff more relevant. I don't really know... I mean, you have Matrons in Movement. Matron's obviously an easy 2-of in Movement.
Matrons, and you're probably still playing Poison, right?
Probably. Kind of busted.
Yeah, so you got...
Maybe not with the Willow nerf. I don't know. But, like, Fledgling is still Fledgling.
False Ciri, continuing with their trend of reworking faction artifact removal. Now its ranged ability is boost an agent by 3. Yep, that's about right. On to the next
boost one. Agent. Wait. So it's an 8 for 7?
Yeah, if you control an agent. There aren't very many of those.
Wait. That's...
Most of them are spies. You can boost Fangs of the Empire, Infiltrator, Courier.
Oh my god.
What
the
Duchess's Informant.
You just made it a fucking non-card.
Emissary, Cantarella. Skellen. If your Skellen lives, you get 3 more points.
Yeah.
So that's what you need when your Skellen lives. Marl.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, there's a couple, but I don't think there's enough to want to actually play it just as an 8 for 7.
Well. Okay.
That was Mana an agent too? I missed that one.
I mean, I'm not going to complain about them reworking an artifact removal card, although with how they seem to be not handling scenarios at all, I would complain a little.
You know what? I kind of am, because they didn't change Bomb Heaver, and Bomb Heaver was the only relevant one.
The only thing to me that's worse than, like, the scenario artifact removal dynamic is, like, scenarios without artifact removal just being, like, hilariously overpowered.
Honestly,
and,
I
like,
feel like I prefer it, because at least then it
tempo.
doesn't feel bad to throw naked scenarios in your deck.
Yeah, sure.
Where, like, right now, scenarios, either you're playing rock, paper, scissors with your opponent, or you're playing a deck that's insta-procking your scenario.
Yeah, I would agree with that. My proposed change to scenarios was make them their own card type, and then instead of prologue 1-2, just make them 1-2-3. So there's actually more of a tempo loss, and you have more of like a round dynamic to them.
I can see that. It's not as important to have the prologue.
A little bit more of a deck building cost as well.
Yeah. That is one. Like, it's crazy that you can fit Draug and Siege into the same deck. Like, 2 top-end payoff cards.
You
with
can fit Draug
no synergy
and
between them.
Siege and Radia into the same deck. That's how I got my NR score.
Yeah. It's kind of sad.
And you don't lose anything for it, because NR bronzes are all fucking cookie cutters 7 for 5s and 6 for 4s.
Yeah. Hammond. Deploy, move an enemy unit to the other row, give it bleeding 2. Increase the bleeding by 1 for each adjacent pirate.
Man, I liked my Hammond better.
I don't hate this one.
My Hammond was cool, but I never actually released my pirate rework, because, I don't know, at some point I probably just forgot to do it, let's be honest. But I think at some point I just like started doubting it, and then I never undoubted it.
Sure.
So this was give something bleeding 2, and then
Move it.
Wait, what?
You move an enemy unit to the other row, give it bleeding 2. Bleeding is increased by 1 for each adjacent pirate.
Oh.
So it's an 8 for 8 movement without any pirate synergy.
Is that good in Skellig? That's pretty decent in Skellig.
I think it's pretty decent for a movement effect in general.
I could see it in Greatswords.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you fit it in Greatswords because like any card like their Greatsword ceiling is like there are plenty of Greatsword synergy cards to fit, but that one has an actual unique role, like moving shit. Means you can play your Greatswords earlier as well.
I like how it's a generic card, like a generic enough card, but has like a fringe benefit if you are playing pirates too.
Yeah, that is the first. That might, other than Striga, I think that is literally the second change that I have actually been like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I like a change that I actually kind of appreciate.
Excommunication. Banish an allied unit, then play the top card of your deck. If the target was a Firesworn, look at the top 3 of your deck and play one of them instead.
Wowee. So now has the option to be a worse War Council, which is the most overrated card in Nilfgaard.
Not the worst when you're playing Invo.
Also without the synergy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, I guess there's important Firesworn shit to fish out, and Syndicate Tutors are garbage.
This is also the faction that has Vivaldi Bank.
And Syndicate Tutors are garbage.
No, but like, compare Vivaldi Bank to this.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty sad. I would play Vivaldi Bank before I'd play that. Yeah. By maybe a little bit. Maybe a little more than a little bit. Maybe a lot of bit. I just don't want to admit it.
Yeah. Let's see. Procession Dependence, 2 extra power.
Wowee.
Yeah.
Wait, does it damage itself by more, or does it have a higher floor?
Damage itself by 10.
Oh, so it damages itself by 10?
And then reduce damage by 2 for every Firesworn Zealot.
Oh, okay, so it can now be... So it can be between 2 and 12?
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually really strong.
Yeah, until you get Gradient.
That's really good. You only need, you need 1 fewer token and you get 2 more points for it.
Yeah, just
that card was fringe even in Firesworn before. Like, it was a good finisher, but it, forced you to play into tall shit more, and it was awkward sometimes. Now it's just, easy slam dunk.
It still has the issue of playing into tall shit, though. It still gets, Vincent,
No,
it still gets...
No, you play that card. You don't even need to have much Firesworn shit.
I agree that you play it, but I don't think that it's a reason to play Firesworn now. It doesn't...
That's,
really
almost at the
much.
point where you could just run a Helveed in a procession. Because there's, so few good gold spenders anyway to, actually play for a lot of points.
Sure.
In around 3.
No, I agree the card is good, but I don't think this alone... this is the only change that the deck really got. I don't think this is doing anything.
Oh, it got nothing else?
Concrete got slightly tweaked to where it gives you a coin every time you use the ability instead of 2 at the end.
You get a coin every... Is that even better?
No. I mean, it's 1 more point, but you don't get to distribute it.
Yeah.
As well.
It's, probably better, but it's awkward. I guess it's maybe a little better if you're trying to do, oh, right, there's no Igor anymore. Because they killed that. Well then.
Yeah. Maybe there's more tweaks, but from what we saw in the dev video, that was all we got.
I mean, it wouldn't be a CDPR patch unless we, opened the client and then found, 30 more tweaks.
They have said that there are a lot more tweaks, but they didn't elaborate on them, and they did not give us the patch notes yet.
So there are a lot more tweaks, and hopefully they're better tweaks.
Yes.
Because these... I like exactly 3 of those tweaks.
Oh, new Tunneldrill. I forgot about that one.
Oh boy.
This was actually... let's not... I won't bias you here. Let me see if I can find it. That's... Oh god, where is it? So profit 1, 5 for 6 still. Fee 3, damage an enemy unit by 1. Increase the damage by 1 for each adjacent crown splitter.
Okay, profit. That was a lot of words.
Yeah, profit 1, so it comes down, you get 1 coin, it's a 5 for 6.
Sure.
Fee 3, damage an enemy unit by 1. And you increase the amount of damage by 1 for each adjacent crown splitter.
Huh. So you can put 2 crown splitters next to it in order for it to be a shittier Yule?
Yeah, with Novigrad and Justice.
Wait, can you... Is that actually... Wait.
Pretty sure Cleaver's Muscle is a crown splitter.
Am I mishearing the numbers on Tunneldrill?
It's spend 3, get 3 if you have 2 crown splitters. Spend 3, deal 3.
Yeah. I get that.
And it's a 6 for 6.
Okay, you said it was a 5 for 6, which was confusing.
The body is 5 for 6, but you get profit 1.
Yeah. Okay. So... Yeah, I don't think that's worth the effort. Like, even if you play with Justice, you still need another crown splitter. And if you've looked at crown splitters, a lot of them...
That gets you both your crown splitters.
Oh, you play... Okay, so you're saying Tunneldrill and then Okay, you're saying like that.
You can play Justice first, or you can just like play the Justice around the Tunneldrill.
Yeah. Sure.
It's 2 provisions cheaper. Like, Ewold, you're playing as a 6 for 8. This is playing as a 6 for 6.
It's not... Yeah.
It's not bad. Obviously, the fee is a lot more awkward. But, like, Ewold's a hell of a card.
I disagree that the fee should be 2. If the fee on this was 2, it would be good. At fee 3, it's like... I don't think it's exciting to have this much more condition of a Yule. But maybe Justice is good enough. Thing is, there's like... Syndicate dwarfs are pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Like, there are more... Like, the change to Justice opens up more dwarfs that you'd want to play with, like, Natal. Because, like, Marauders are pretty decent baseline. And you can play, like... Hell, even a Skirmisher is not bad.
It's worth noting, like Bloody Good Friends is a crown splitter. Chorus Blacksmith is a crown splitter.
So those are, like, all cards that sort of almost make it. But, like, they're quite a bit worse than the spenders that do make it.
Yeah, but you can Justice
to play them.
Oh wait, no, Globigans isn't a dwarf. Never mind. Yeah, so the Justice is always just getting Cleaver's Muscle or an Alpha Brawler.
I'm not totally convinced, but I don't think it's the worst thing ever. Like, I don't think it's deck defining enough. Like, Yule's been like falling off more and more lately. It's no longer like the Syndicate carry. Like, a few people, even at certain points in the meta, considered cutting it.
Yeah, I think
is going too far, but
I think Mieman wasn't playing it for a while, right? It was one of the Chinese players.
Yeah. It's I think it could make it into a deck, but I don't think it's good enough to just be like, yes, crown splitters are a deck now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think you'd need some other reason to play Justice and like Friends and like it's gonna maybe be some pile that comes together because Friends have their own synergies with like Tavern Brawl and other random shit. But
yeah, it's not a build around it doesn't enable the build around by any stretch, but it's another mid-range card that's an option, which I mean isn't really what Syndicate needed, but there it is.
It's a decent change. I don't hate it. Although I also didn't hate the old Tunneldrill. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems weird that they reworked all the faction artifact removal when it wasn't stuff seeing play.
Like, oh yeah, Bomb Heaver is totally fine.
Oh wait,
Bomb Heaver's...
There's this quote. Let me see if I can play it.
Wait, maybe they did. You said there were a whole bunch of other changes. Did they ever confirm that they're not changing Bomb Heaver?
You can see in the Plague Went library the Bomb Heaver is the same. That updated.
Fucking damn it.
Tunneldrill.
Okay.
Plunder. Eventide.
Eventide ability has changed.
I thought maybe they actually reworked all of it.
Enemy controls an artifact.
Fine.
Gains
what about Nithrall? Is Nithrall still kill artifacts?
Instead of removing artifacts,
Nithrall is Imlerith now.
Wait. Why is Nithrall Imlerith?
They swapped it. They reworked Nithrall's ability and gave it to Imlerith, and then gave Nithrall Imlerith's ability.
Imlerith definitely had an ability. What was it?
Wait, we commented on this earlier. Come on, really?
Oh. Mad Imlerith?
Yeah, remember when you said Black Rayla and we all laughed at you?
Yeah. Give me a break. It's 5:30 in the morning.
But yeah, they said something about Tunneldrill being the best artifact removal card in the game. And I can't really seek the quote.
Yeah. It's 5:30 in the morning and I got like negative sleep. Also.
Splitter. So it'll be able to do 3 damage for 3. By 1, increased damage.
Worse.
Profit 1, fee 3. Tunneldrill, I think, was touted as the strongest artifact removal faction-specific card.
Yeah, Tunneldrill was touted as the most powerful faction-specific artifact removal card.
Negative sleep just being awake. No, I'm pretty sure negative sleep is where you just like suck the sleep out of your body.
And chat wanted to talk about the probably the most long-term impactful change, which is the hiding of usernames in Pro Rank. Have any specific thoughts on that? I rambled for like an hour about it earlier.
I rambled for like a minute about it earlier. My thoughts are that it's not really very impactful, but I also just don't really get why they're doing it.
Sure. That's kind of how I feel. I just don't like how it like actively disincentivizes you from ever using cosmetics.
Yeah, that definitely, like, that seems jank. Bomb Heaver is too much of a basic card to change it.
What does that
I don't have
even
enough
mean?
energy to reply, but I don't agree. That, like, doesn't seem like a thing you can... this chair might just be a bed for now.
Oh no. Hiding nicknames is going to promote Pepega decks on Pro Ladder. I don't think it's going to promote them more than people already do them. It just makes it so that it's a little harder for the players who pay attention to the usernames to be able to spot out. Sorry.
Yeah, I kind of hate that it's like... It feels like you have to be more of a detective now. It's not that Pepega decks are actually going to like be more disguised. Because there's a bunch of other shit you can look at too. But like... It's just more of a pain than being like, oh yes, this is the guy who plays clowny shit.
I mean, how do you even single out, like, So, like, the Netica decks eventually had to tell, because they started playing the list with Revenants and Forbidden Magics, and it became easy to tell that way. But before that list was popular, they all played all the same cards except for the Nenica plus Igni. There wasn't really a tell until the Nenica came down.
Yeah. Which I hated.
Yeah. Well, you could kind of use usernames to single those people out. But you can't do that anymore. Unless people are really lazy with their cosmetics.
Yep.
You're looking forward to taking notes of what people's avatar plus order combinations are?
I don't give enough of a fuck. The effort I spend into that is just gonna be, like, effort that I'm not putting into the game.
I don't know. It's not a lot of effort. It's not that much worse than taking down usernames.
Like that kind of goes against me saying, oh, it's not really that much harder to spot clowns. But I get a feeling, even if I don't take notes, just like instinctively, because people often will ladder in sessions, there'll be a good chance that I'll recognize when I have the same opponent.
Maybe.
That totally is possible now. Like, Kamel can totally do exactly what he did. Although there was a kappa, so I'm probably just fucking 5:30 in the morning. That was a sentence.
Yeah, like, streamers can still get Q-sniped. It's not...
Yeah.
Doesn't change anything once you're streaming with the delay.
Oh, yeah, I got thoughts. Woo.
Woo. Go play. Is the patch actually out? I assumed chat was just trolling. Well, let's see.
A bit sad Avalok's now 3. I'm a bit sad. The change made a little bit of sense, but honestly, like, it feels like with all this stuff they're, like, adding to creep, Avalok at 4 wasn't, like, game-breaking. Like, Avalok if they're adding new shit into the game, is like slowly gonna work its way out even without a nerf. It didn't really feel like a neutral card that was strong enough to like justify like, ah yes, nerf.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the play rate might have just been too high for them, and they wanted to
Yeah.
just hit it because they could.
I mean, yeah. I just don't think play rates like they made a lot of weird changes just because of like shoddy data.
Hey man, Ardal was the highest win rate leader.
The highest win rate leader.
I really want to know if
Mega
anyone got a
MMRs.
high score with
Yeah.
Ardal.
There's no way they're using like pro ladder stats for that, right?
I
What did they
have
say?
no idea.
It's probably Ardal's beating all the filthy casuals. Maybe the Ardal starter deck is the best one.
Wouldn't that be a meme?
God. Is there an Ardal starter deck? I don't fucking know.
No, but you have all the leaders unlocked at the start.
Hmm. Yeah, everyone at like rank 20 plays the clowniest random shit, and Ardal just like controls it or something. I don't know. It'd be dumb if that was just what was going on.
I mean, it happened the first or second patch after Homecoming when they nerfed Engine NR, despite not being a real deck.
Ugh.
It was just really good on regular ladder because people don't know how to play against engines at low ranks.
Yeah. I have been sapped of my ability to complain.
I don't blame you.
I kind of just feel nothing.
That's what Gwent's
point.
for. That's why we just gotta make Gwent as good as we can make it. Sorry,
Yeah.
Untitled row card game.
Are you ready for my new summoning circle that's going into Gwent?
No, I'm not. Please. Please, no.
Create a create. Create a create. I'm shocked it's not currently in Gwent. It's such a natural rework for summoning circle. And instead they just made it like a generic create card. And by natural
Yeah.
rework, I mean it would be horrible. But
Oh, hey, Gwent's kind of updating. I don't know if this is the real update, but
oh boy, my Gwent's done shit all. Let me try hitting the play button. Nope, nothing.
whoa, not that. Not Gwent. Not Gwent. What? No, not Gwent. I said not Gwent. 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 There we go. Gwent. I don't think there's a patch. Oh yeah, Adrenaline Rush got changed. It's now 5 provisions, boost a unit that is alone on a row by 8.
Boost a unit that is alone on a row by 8. Is that good?
It's an 8 for 5. Neutral. Probably
That
not.
might
Goes too
be.
tall.
It's good in clown decks.
Yeah.
That's about it, right? Like, that's a good card to put on a Kelly.
It is a good card to put on a Kelly. Man, I want poison to never leave the metagame. Let's just always have poison decks everywhere so that never happens to us.
I want Kelly to come back. I miss my boy.
Oh my
Kelly's
god.
a girl. I don't know my Kelly lore.
I mean, its name is Kelly, so.
Its name is Keltullus.
Any good news
The
for
voice
monsters?
sounds kind of more... Actually, I guess I don't know the difference between how a male and a female dragon sounds when voice acted.
You don't? What
No,
kind
I
of
don't.
fantasy fan are you?
Yeah. Kelly is female. Okay. Kelly is female.
I'm just convinced they nerf bribery. Oh, okay, let me... We don't know for sure that they didn't nerf bribery. It might have just been left out. I don't know why they would leave that out.
Wait, did they nerf bribery?
No. It'd be cool if they did.
Bribery is fun.
Oh my god.
And by fun, I mean the reason why I have like a garbage Nilfgaard score.
And weren't you playing it a lot for the last few days?
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's so hard to be consistent when your deck relies on playing 2 to 3 briberies every game.
Kirby's saying Air Rush plus Triss is kind of cute. What is that? Triss plays as a 12 for 11? And you have to hit your Triss roll?
Yeah. You basically just play like a 12 for 11. It's resettable. It's like a really weird worse Oz roll.
Yeah.
Like, by a lot. Gets poisoned. Poison's still gonna be relevant. They nerfed, like, Moreau, which was in some of the poison decks. And they nerfed, like... They nerfed 2 pretty good poison cards, but it's like 1 point from all the poison combos. Fangs and Fistek are still so busted. Ranger's, like, Omega busted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't...
Cobra's got nerfed. That does hurt the consistency a little bit. You probably cut K-Cobra from a lot of the poison decks.
Yeah, it becomes harder to assemble your poisons in a shorter round, for sure.
Yeah, but like Nilfgaard still has Rot Tosser and like Ball if they really need it.
Ball if they really need it. Are we considering cutting Ball?
Yeah, because it's like not every Nilfgaard deck that plays poison plays Ball. My formation plays poison.
Yeah, so does mine. It also plays Ball.
Why does your play? What the fuck are you doing?
Do you know how good Ball is? You don't even care if it gets bomb heavered, it's so good.
You definitely do. You definitely do. If you're not playing Calvite, you definitely care. If you are playing Calvite, you fucking miss your aristocrat every single time.
Exactly. It's not like it's any different. You're just playing a better leader.
It's a better leader when you don't draw often. Which
Do you know how good Ball is when it sticks? Ball's like a 30-point card.
Not in every matchup.
If you're killing like a 6, and you're...
It's not like... I wouldn't call killing like a 6 like a 30-point card.
When your game gets to 12, it is.
Game just gets 12 in formation.
Whoa, we play Rot Tossers, we play Rot Tossers, and we play Rot Tossers for days.
Have you considered, like, playing, like, a better formation list?
This list actually did really well for us.
Nice.
It's like the only Nilfgaard deck I could win with all season.
Yeah. Formation could win when I wasn't tilted. The problem with Formation was that I would win several games in a row, and then I'd have a really tilting loss. I'm maybe a bit more of an emotional player than average.
The trick to not getting tilted is just not play Bribery.
It's true. It's true.
See?
Bribery is...
It's the tech!
Bribery, like, you're coupling the tilt of Bribery with the tilt of people randomly having answers to Stefan Damien.
That's also the trick, not playing Stefan. Easy.
No, they were definitely, like... It was definitely that kind of meta.
Yeah.
They were so worth it in so many matchups. Like, even in matchups where they're canonically bad, they were, like, surprisingly still good.
Chat's saying Keltalis was nerfed.
Bribery 2020. Am I playing with a literal coin? No, I'm playing with a figurative coin and also a literal nail clipper and, like, weird screwdriver thing. You're welcome.
Your best friend got nerfed, Redrame.
Wait, what?
Keltalis.
What got... Wait, they nerfed Kelly?
They nerfed Kelly.
They nerfed Kelly!
Was not expecting to see that. I thought chat was making shit up.
I'm quitting. You know, I can finally say that I climbed pro ladder once. And I honestly don't feel very accomplished anymore. I thought I would get this sense of accomplishment.
No, the accomplishment's not until you win qualifiers.
I played a lot of fucking Gwent, and now I have to play more fucking Gwent so that I can lose to people that are better than me.
Just don't lose.
I mean, I don't really think of it like that. I'm more of a tournament player than a ladder player for sure.
Yeah,
I just gotta build sneaky boy lineup and cheese people. Although that's hard to do when I built so many sneaky boy decks to climb the ladder with.
Oh, so speaking of sneaky conquest things, Epidemic got reworked. I forgot about this one. This one's kind of important for conquest. It's 5 provisions, destroy target 4 provision unit.
Destroy target 4 provision unit. Is that actually good?
Against Syndicate. Kills Sea Jackals and the other spender. And it's a neutral, so you can tech it everywhere.
Okay.
So their only real spender is Ewald.
That's interesting. I mean, they still use their spenders. You can only epidemic one thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bronze.
I don't think epidemic's actually that good of a tech against Syndicate. Like, it's good, but it's not like... I don't think that secures your Syndicate matchup enough to where it's like, oh yeah, these decks have 2 epidemics, they'll win.
Well, it depends what else you're doing, too. You're not just throwing 2 epidemics in your deck.
Yeah,
but it's a part of a bigger strategy to
I don't really
hard target
know
Syndicate.
how you put a bigger strategy to hard target Syndicate. Like, if you're hard targeting Syndicate, what are you playing?
Yeah, it's a good question, but it's another tool.
Spoilfel's pretty good against Syndicate, and other than that, Syndicate mostly loses to itself.
But they lose to themselves more often when they can't stick a 4 provision spender.
Yeah, it's true. That just seems like a big dice roll to me.
I mean, that's what targeting is. Hard targeting, at least.
I mean, depending on how smartly you do it, it's not like it's a better or worse dice roll.
Sure.
It's not one that I would make, is what I'm saying.
Just depends how good you can make your matchups.
Yeah.
If you expect everyone in the tournament to be on a Syndicate deck, which I don't think is that crazy.
It's a little more crazy now. There are a couple of other people who hopped on the Skellig train with me.
Oh, that's true.
Like,
that's true.
I wouldn't be surprised if Adzakov brought Skellig instead.
That's fair.
Considering top 4.
Epidemic kills Protector.
But I guess Adzakov's the only one, like, because Miamon played Skellig over Nilfgaard, I think.
Sure. It's also a conquest, and the priorities might change.
Yeah. There's also, like, a new patch and, like, new shit. God, it's so dumb that it's like, yeah, you spent, like, way too long streaming and doing random nonsense and grinding your way up. And now you have to play on some entirely different meta.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which, too, is honestly, I shouldn't be complaining about it, because it's probably to my advantage.
Good deck building is rewarded. It does make, like, any kind of targeting strategy a lot worse. It's harder to predict what the field's gonna play.
But it works well for what I'm doing. Because, like, a lot of times I'll find something that people think is good that's actually not so good. And then kind of, like, soft target it.
Sure.
Usually I go, like, either all short or, like, all greedy or something like that. Just depending on what makes sense.
Sounds right.
I miss when Geralt was in every single deck.
Do you?
And I could just, like, count on my opponents playing 3 for 10s.
Oh, for Conquest? Sure.
Yeah.
I hated Geralt. Okay.
I hated Geralt so much.
As long as we're on the same page.
Miserable card. But
one of my least favorite designs.
Really big asset for my Conquest, like, luck.
No, I agree. That card is such a liability in Conquest.
Yeah. Hatches in 2 minutes. Ah, cool, so I can sleep in 2 minutes.
Oh boy.
When the Gwent as I know it disappears, and is replaced with Homecoming 2, Electric Boogaloo. The apocalypse is nigh. Yeah, I should sleep probably.
Probably.
Stop being a baby. You stop being a baby. Bam! 1, 2, 4. That was pretty good. 1, 2, 4. I love me some right-click action. It's so much fun to just right-click people.
Yeah, close Gwent, so I'm ready for the update when it hits. Should be any minute now.
Right-click you? No. I only right-click people that don't ask for it. Huh. Oh god, that was a long time. Kirby!
Yikes.
Oh no.
He's not skilled in the way of right-clicking.
Yeah. I'm a practiced, like, right-clicker. It's honestly, like, it's a pretty serious skill. It's pretty hard to get the 1, 2, 3. Oh man.
Let's see. Where's
Like,
the forum?
Should I check what's in the patch? Or am I just gonna be too sleep deprived? I'm gonna like hallucinate that like Fran finally got nerfed.
Fran did get nerfed by a provision.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yay! Whoa! It's totally gonna kill Fran. Bye, Fran. Yay! Hell yeah!
Look on the bright side. They nerfed Kalenth by like 3.
Why didn't they just... Why does Kalanth need to Kalanth? Like, if Kalanth is killed, then they just killed Kalanth. And if Kalanth still sees play, she's still kind of dumb for the same reasons. Just costs, like, way more.
I mean, we're trying to nerf a mid-rangey deck. Kind of what you care about, right? You just want to make their ceiling a little bit weaker.
But you can... Kalanth isn't the reason NR is mid-rangey.
No,
the
but
reason NR is mid-rangey is because their entire top end is mid-rangey.
yeah, definitely. But it's harder to... Like, your deck's not going to be as strong with the 3 fewer provisions. You're cutting a gold. You don't have as many golds to play.
So you're gonna play the MOBA version, which was already becoming more popular at the top end of the ladder.
Yeah.
Kill me.
I, for one, welcome our new Henselt overlords. I don't think Henselt got changed at all either. Like, he's
to be
still the
fair,
same
I do
crit.
think I was on the opinion that Pincer was still better than MOBA.
Sure, but not after
Most of
3
the
provision.
people most of the people at the top end were like, "Nah, I'm playing MOBA." So it's just kind of silly that it's like, yeah, they're just gonna like butcher Kalanth, and then they're... Henselt is at least a better leader design in theory, but like in practice, Henselt gets used exactly the same way as Kalanth.
Yup.
It's just silly. They are both one-shots. They're so similar. It's like, ugh. Also, my Gwent definitely isn't updated.
Oh yeah, there's no patch yet. It's on mobile. You have it on mobile.
Oh, I do have mobile, but that would require opening it.
That's fair.
I guess I can do that. My phone's literally right in front of me.
Spiro got patch notes already? What the fuck? Am I refreshing the wrong page? Where are patch notes?
Wait, we have patch notes?
That's all I want. I think chat's fucking with me. Chat's definitely fucking with me.
It's fucking DJ. It's fucking DJ. fucking asshole. I'm going to sleep.
Good night, Redrame. Thanks for stopping in. Have a
I
good
hope
night.
you're proud of what you've done, DJ. To be fair, you probably should be. I kind of need my sleep.
Reddit? Why are they on Reddit? That's... There's no patch notes here.
So let me set my alarm. Like, God, when do I need to be up?
Hopefully not 6 a.m. because it's 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's not 6 a.m. God, what's the fuck? Let me just check. I'm pretty sure it's normal time. Because it can't, like, make me show up early for, like, a scheduled course. But there's, like, a weird presentation thing I have to do tomorrow. Those were words. Yeah. So, like, Gwent. Woo.
Gwent,
Yeah.
woo. I'm all in on Gwent.
I'm all in on Gwent too, which is why I've done. Fuck.
Literal nothing.
Hey, not literal. That is a lie. I've done a solid. I have spent like a solid 1 hour attempting to do things.
Oh no.
Like that one time. And then also like adding the filler for the card prefab.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
update.
determined to make my contribution noted.
It is technically
Gwent
still an asset, even though it is
Yeah,
unused.
yeah. If Gwent ever gets monetized, I'm owed or something.
Oh boy.
Fucking- I will sue. No, I wouldn't.
It is, I believe it's updating. I think patch is out on PC.
Oh, is it? That's cool. Exposed. Wait, how have I been exposed? I can't even read chat. Exposed.
Patch
Ex-
notes. Pog!
I'm the kind of guy to get rickrolled. Fucking.
Okay. First thing, game fixes, the most important section.
Oh boy. Guess I'm reading these. You
Well, I don't think they fixed my bug, right, James?
Huh.
Deck selection picker. Ability, okay. Income trigger can be cancelled out. Cool. Neutral. Added scenario category to all the scenarios. Adrenaline Rush. Epidemic. Crow's Eye. Oh, Crow's Eye is purify an allied unit that boosted by 3. Decoy is cheaper and no longer a tactic.
God, Crow's Eye. Crow's Eye. Decoy now 6p. Wow. I love how they spelled Radia wrong in the official patch notes.
Maybe it's correct in one of the
6 in
languages.
the morning, and I can spot that.
You've seen a lot of Redeas over the last month. I get it.
I have.
Dragon's Dream is cheaper. Olgierd Immortal is cheaper. Avalok nerf. Judo is an 8 instead of a 10. Does that matter at all?
I forget what Dudu does.
It copies an opponent's unit. The power of an opponent's unit.
I think it does something different in Homecoming.
Does
I don't
it?
think it's like beta Dudu. I think it like actually makes a copy of the opponent's unit.
Oh, does it? No, wait.
Like I think that could potentially be, depending on what that does, it might actually be playable.
Does it trigger assimilate too?
Yeah, I think it's a Kingslayer-esque sort of card.
That's cute then. Johnny and Sarah got a point of power.
Dudu is Kingslayer, but enemies only. Okay, let me look at Dudu. Do.
Right, I can't open my game right now. It's still updating.
Transform into a base copy of an enemy unit. Okay.
It's cute then. Okay.
Yeah, that's cute.
Traveling Merchant, extra point of power. Skellig Storm is cheaper, so it's no longer more expensive than Lacerate. Becker's Rock Slide is now an 8. Derogere costs 7. Kerwin's cheaper. Wolfsbane's cheaper.
Kerwin.
Lady of the Lake is a 6 instead of a 5 now.
Why do they make these changes?
Fisher King is a 5 instead of a 4. Rock Barrage costs 5 instead of 6. Thaw is now a 4 provision card. I thought it was already a 4 provision card.
God.
Oh hey, Gaunter costs the same as Marl now. No more memes. Still a
No
way worse
more
card than
memes.
Marl, but
It's
at least they're in line.
yeah. It banishes. It
True.
banishes. Haha.
Marigold's Hailstorm costs 9 instead of
I'm
10.
fucking triggered that they were like, oh yeah, we gotta buff Gaunter. Like that.
That's such a
means
CDPR thing to do, right?
That means that Reddit won. Reddit winning is like responsible for so many more like dangerous changes that were made to this game than
I
like,
would have
Gaunter
respected
being
it
buffed.
so much more if they just arbitrarily nerfed it.
Yeah, I wanted Gaunter to be 15p.
Give him an extra point of power and call it a rework.
It's not banished, it just kills doomed. Okay, whatever.
Commander's
Very
Horn
slightly different.
costs 9 instead of 10. I thought it already cost 9. Novellin's a 5 instead of a 4. Caldwell costs 7 instead of 8. Marl and Cobra nerf.
Okay.
New keyword for traps.
Imlerith. What the fuck?
We talked about this one already.
Thrall is now 7th. I figured it out. It's now spelled out in front of me. I have words to read. Haunt. Wait, they buffed Haunt by a provision? Haunt did not
Oh.
need a buff.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
Haunt tooltip now properly mentions Death Wish units. What did it do wrong before?
I have no idea.
Penitent now mentions where unit is summoned to. Isn't it random?
I thought it was.
It was definitely random.
It might not have said random.
It didn't. So I guess it says random now.
I would assume so. Corinthia now properly mentions base copy. These are the types of hard-hitting reworks that I really like to see in a Gwent patch. I should highlight this one too. Okay, Wildhunt Hound, we saw this one. She-Troll, we saw this one. Warrior, we saw this one. Striga, we saw. Keltullus nonsensically got nerfed now instead of like 2 seasons ago when it would have made at least a little sense.
It did get nerfed then too. Went from 11 to 12. It was 11 at one point.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Wispus
My boy.
went from 4 to 5.
Kelly. Or whatever. Yeah, Wispus. Oh, they buffed Crones by 1. Wowie.
One of the Crones by 1.
One of the Crones by 1. You think this makes Crones suddenly good?
No, do you?
No.
Okay.
I just was hoping I was hoping you would say something.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think Crones are incredible now. This 1 point was exactly what they needed. Would you like to, would you like to retort? Do you disagree?
I took a big old swig of water right as you said that. It was not a good idea.
Okay, Reckless Fairy ignores armor. Wild Boar we knew about. Brocker Hunter we knew about. Savage Bear gives bleed instead of damage. They nerfed Savage Bear?
Sage Bear.
Why did they nerf
Wait.
Savage Bear?
Why the fuck?
Is there
What
any
the-
bleeding synergy? Skellig?
It goes through armor. That's the synergy.
Oh.
Because obviously armor was OP against Skellig when you had stunning blow.
Wow, this makes Savage Bear so much better. I'm glad they made this change. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to see Savage Bear appearing at in Pro Ladder.
Bleed helps with greatswords. You know what else helps with greatswords? Redrame, do you know what helps with greatswords?
Damaging?
Yeah. Maybe it's like
Actually
bleed
helps.
2.
It helps
That might make sense.
considerably more. It helps considerably more because you actually buff your greatsword right away.
Yeah.
Instead, like it helps you stick them. Demon Parrot keeping. Wow, damaged by 3 instead. You told me about that. On crate, Warcrier. Oh, so they moved the Warcrier ability off of Warcrier and onto Giant Boar.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Which is kind of sad. Warcrier was kind of a cool bronze, even if it was never good. It's kind of cool that it existed.
It wasn't that cool because it was so blatantly terrible. It's so blatantly dependent on what was being run.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know. It's more interesting than just like another boost by 1 engine.
Yeah, I agree. Redrame, please. No.
No
what else is low?
Tooltip tweak. Skull.
146.
Where are all these changes that they promised existed, but
Yeah,
they didn't include?
disappointing.
Are they counting like the innate herbalist
losing
then
my
changed
head.
to and? Oh wait, this is actually a change. Never mind. Wait,
Wait.
no, it's not. I think it's just
Nope,
wording.
it's not a change. That's not a change.
That's just wording.
24-hour cooking stream at some point. When I actually get my own kitchen, like, that would be a fun thing to do. I'm determined.
Covenant of
But I
Steel
need
starts
to-
with 2 armor.
I'm not doing 24-hour cooking stream in that thing. Covenant of Steel armor. Oh, now it's 2 armor.
Amazing.
God.
So now it's even harder
I
to get it
mean-
damaged.
Yeah, that is actually a relevant buff. Covenant of Steel was not a terrible card.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't die to stunning blow anymore. If you like to have a priest stick on it. At least not immediate. Oh, yes, it does.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
no. Not for 3 turns.
Yeah. It's not a bad change. Like, it's a defender. It's gonna be eating damage. It's
Yeah.
actually, it makes it a lot more like Cave Troll. Instead of like random subbing for 9.
That's fair. It just makes the ability
is
on it
it?
look a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Coral.
Coral buff.
Changed from 4 to 5. The change discarded needed.
Burner Brand gets 2 cheaper.
That's well, Burna's
That's-
pretty good. That's actually like respectable.
There was a time
Like,
when
if you
Burna
just-
was the best card
If
in the
you
game.
discard 2 skirms, Burna's now just 11 for 8 vanilla. Obviously, you can't do that reliably, and like that kind of says more about skirm, but like
And discarding.
that actually gives like something exciting about discard, right?
Yeah, sort
It's
of.
like you're actually sort of excited to play Burna, whereas before all the discard cards just felt, yeah,
It's just not as important to like thin your bronzes out of deck as it used to be.
yeah, that too. Sigvold, wow, it's now 6.
What does this card do?
It's it's a Rayla. It
Oh,
pings
right.
things by 1, and if it's Berserk 4, which is
Yeah.
it pings them by 2 instead.
Yeah, I know what card it is now. Blue Willows gets cheaper.
Actually, honestly, that might unironically be decent in great swords, though. 6 is hard to kill.
Yeah. Definitely a buff. It's definitely a pretty big buff, but
Like, yeah, that's the type of buff that could be relevant. Blue Boy might be good in Foul Blood. Too bad Foul Blood's been like crept the fuck.
Lippy from 2 to 4.
Man, that's a lot of extra power to Lippy. Pretty sure Lippy's still a meme.
I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't think it was like even close to playable before, so I don't see.
Yeah. I would probably agree.
Okay. Morkvarg. Regular Morkvarg is a provision cheaper. Hey, thanks for the host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Welcome.
Yeah. Morkvarg being that's pretty good value.
Yeah,
I
Morkvarg's a lot
guess.
better.
That's like, yeah,
It's now the same rate
That's
as
like-
Aileron.
yeah.
Bran, provision better.
Wow.
Donar, provision better.
Provision change from 8. Donar might not be terrible. Donar might not be terrible. I saw Miamon experimenting with Donar. Like, unironically.
He was playing just like fair Arnulf. It was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Actual fair Arnulf. Bran's back, boys. I'm not convinced Bran's back just from these changes. Bran's no longer laughably horrible.
Like the thing with
Bran went
Skellig,
from, like,
it needs its leader to give you a play. Like it needs the leader for the finisher. In every deck that you consider playing in Skellige, Bran doesn't do that.
Bran went from like its own tier of garbage to like Croc tier.
Oh no.
That's my prediction.
Is that like a tier below Svalbard?
I think Svalbard and Croc are about the same tier.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess right now with Poison. That's fair. That's fair.
There's like more of a direct incentive to play Croc actually than Svalbard.
Certainly now with all the new Bloodthirst cards
Yeah.
too.
Although the discard cards are looking pretty good now. Like they did buff the discard cards quite a bit.
Yeah, but there's only 3 of them.
It's
You don't need to
just
play
like-
Bran.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Like I guess Bran makes all of your discard cards. And it's such a pain to justify Bran. It's so hard to justify Bran.
Yeah, it gives you more thinning. It gives you a couple extra points on your discard cards.
You could
but
like
you don't even want
yeah.
to play Skull, I don't think. You just want to play like Burn a Quarrel maybe.
Yeah.
And you can probably get away with playing the 3 discard targets.
I mean, yeah, if you really wanted more discards, couldn't you just play like Berna twice with like Second Wind? Is that even worse?
That's probably better than Bran. Because you have the option too to not use the Burna.
It's
I don't
not
know.
like obvious. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say because you do get points on Bran, but
NR. So Arrow 2's out of change. Caro Ballista, ability changed to deploy, crew gain 2 armor, order ranged, damage an enemy unit by 2. So it's range locked now? Was it range locked before?
I
I don't think it
it
was.
was range locked before.
Was
Yeah,
it?
it was.
Wait, what was the change then?
Play crew. There is no change. I think they changed the wording.
Okay. Zeal is conditional now? What? No, it's
It
not.
never
There's
had
no zeal.
zeal. It never had zeal.
The crew is deploy. Is this patch note just not accurate? Does it do something else in client?
It would. Oh, would it have to shoot to get? I have. Okay, I have no fucking clue.
It had resupply?
Whatever.
No, it didn't.
Vicious slash. Is that God, that's Ada.
Yeah.
I think. God, that's the change Ada needed right there. I'm ready for vicious slash meta.
Had resupply gain armor? No, this was always crew gain 2 armor. Because you put it between 2 soldiers to get the armor, and everyone always missed it because it was so irrelevant. It didn't mention not being able to damage allies. Oh, that might be it.
I'm actually not totally convinced that Bran is terrible. The more I think about it.
What finisher are you playing in
Brand's only
Skellige?
like probably like I don't think the deck around it's good enough to be like scary.
That's
but
always been the issue, though.
the discard buffs are like pretty good.
Yeah.
Like just playing like I don't know.
It's just why
They
be
didn't make-
Bran?
They made all of, like you just don't have enough discard cards to like yeah. Alright, whatever. I'm tired.
Pincer nerf. Mobilization boost changed from 3 to 2. Okay, so they did nerf Hensel.
Okay,
By a
that's
point.
good.
Philippa lost a provision. Kirametz gets a provision better, and Odrin gets a provision better.
Yeah, Odrin.
Go, Odrin.
I think Godrin might have been the worst gold in Northern Realms.
Oh god, is that true? There's some bad golds in Northern Realms.
Godrin was miserable.
Might be right.
Literally.
Okay.
God.
Scoia'tael added new keyword spring to trap cards and modified tooltips with it. Okay. Deadeye Ambush. This Eldain ability seems kind of good. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's got like a little bit of formation-esque tempo to it. It makes elves. It makes Vernacial melee quite good. I think it's good.
It's just when I compare it to Eithne. So like you don't have to play Scorch anymore, which I guess is an upside. Like you're not playing a Scorch Igni deck. And if you're not playing those, it's probably just better. But like it's also Eithne that doesn't have removal value, despite being more points.
Yeah, I don't think saying you're not playing Scorch Igni is an upside is right, because you have the option to play Scorch Igni. Not every Eithne did.
That's true, that's true.
Like, they played Scorch Igni because with Eithne's ability, those were cards that were better than other options in a lot of cases. Like, Eithne is more vanilla value. You would only ever play Eldain in like a very dedicated elf deck. Like, it's an option over like the Dana style of deck, I would say. More so than like Eithne.
I don't know if that's totally true, because it's really good for just like proccing Ailer in last play. You can go like a second to last play Verno, leader, pull Ailer in, then Isengrim, and have like a 30-something point 2-card finisher in some other unitless deck. Like it's bigger than anything Eithne can do outside of like Scorching. And it scales pretty well if you have more cards that you want to play. It scales with Yavin, scales with Oak. Yeah. I don't think you necessarily need to be a hard elf deck.
But then why are you playing this ability?
For the finisher value. It's just a bigger finisher when you don't need to...
But it's not that big of a finisher when it's just like spawn 3 Deadeyes.
It spawn 3 Deadeyes pulls Ailer in, which is something that Eithne doesn't do. And then Isengrim as well.
If you're not, like, you need more elves though if you're pulling Ailer in.
Verno.
Like, you're not gonna run this with just Verno. Verno's not even like... Verno's 11 for 12. It's like...
It's bigger with Isengrim.
You're throwing... Like, Verno's okay. You're throwing points for Verno. You're not... I mean...
Verno makes other cards bigger. Like, you don't just need... Like, it makes Oak bigger, it makes Isengrim bigger. It pulls your Ailer in.
At this point, you're describing the type of deck that I'm saying. This is the later you'd use.
I guess maybe. I'm thinking... When I think of an elf deck, I think of a deck that's pulling Ailer in round 1.
Isengrim...
Whereas I'm seeing this as more of like a finisher for...
I very rarely pull my Ailer in round 1 with elves. I think it's a big trap. You usually need it round 2 if you're being bled hard.
Wait, what elf deck were you playing? Were you playing like a Harmony elf deck?
I was playing Dana. I was playing the Poison Elves.
Sure. I'm thinking more like the Eithne deck, which doesn't really have an option to not pull Ailer in round 1 wants to play. Because it plays like mono elves.
Well, I think it's kind of different.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of when I think of like a full elf deck.
I was saying this was more like a Dana.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, you're playing this with Feign Death.
Probably.
Like, you really want to be able to, like Verno melee is definitely better value. Being able to Verno melee with 3 Deadeyes sounds really good. If you can pull off a Feign Death. Like, you can play like Radia, you can play Feign Death, and then you just like slam a Verno for all of the Deadeyes.
Yeah, it's also just like a really big finisher if you want to go unitless.
Yeah.
Because that's what Eldain did before, right? Like, I played a bunch of traps, went unitless, and then had this huge, scary finisher. Now there's one less charge, but it's guaranteed that you get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that was the closest comparison that I saw.
It's a huge buff to Eldain.
Oh, yeah.
It is a huge buff to Eldain.
No more incinerating trap.
Yavin changed to fuck you.
Yeah, it just counts the row. I don't know. I don't hate the change. I'm fine with it.
I don't like the change. It's just... It's literally the change they made for doors, but they slapped on the elves, and it just feels lazy.
Yeah, it's the same change they made to Barclay down below.
Oh, they changed... They nerfed Barclay? This card was already so bad.
No, man. The dwarf win rate was just too high.
Dwarves aren't dead enough. Treant Boar. Yay, Treant Boar. That's kind of cute.
Yeah, that change is sweet.
Not. I wouldn't. It's like, yeah, it's sweet. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I want to see in a change.
Yeah.
I don't want like cards to be like super crazy buffed, but now it's a new consideration.
It's a yeah. I like to change. Whatever. I'm tired. Order melee. Isn't this the same fucking shit?
It's the same stuff. Mystic Echo 13 to 12, Call of Harmony 16 to 15.
Yay. I guess.
Pitfall Trap 7/6. Etriel and Merlega both nerfed to Provision. Weeping Willow.
That kind of kills Dana, in my opinion. A big part of the upside of playing Dana was you Etriel Pepega'd so many matchups. And like now they're also introducing Eldain, like, which is a direct competitor to Dana, as I was saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I could definitely see that.
I think Eldain and Ithne divide up the real estate that Dana had. Especially since Dana got nerfed by a P as well.
I agree with that. Dolbothana Bowman changed from 5 to 4 provisions.
That's the one that like range shooty.
Yeah.
Isn't that like almost better than BME now?
Isn't this card the nuts?
That's really good. If that does what I think it does, that's really good.
Wait, this is the... Wait, this has to be the range throw one, right? The one you play range and deals damage to...
It's the one based on distance.
Yeah. I mean, it's still really good. I thought it was the archer for a second.
Oh, you thought it was Archer. That would have been so broken.
Yeah, I was really confused.
4P Archer is just like, well, guess we're gonna see all the Ithnes. Bowman's not as good. Bowman, like, is pretty much better than BME now.
Probably. I mean, people played BME, but no one was happy about it.
Yeah, you would never play BME over this, whereas this is a 2 of in every elf deck that's not Radia.
I can see that.
Like, it just is. It plays for 5 minimum. It plays as an officer minimum.
It's true.
And it's like, if your opponent plays on the range draw, oh no. What a restriction. It's a 6 for 4.
Nilfgaard changes. Falseer we saw. Enslaved got nerfed.
Chain Death nerfed.
Double Cross buffed. Sarit from 8 to 7. Albric to 4 power. They nerfed Trahern's power but boost his provisions by 2. What?
I guess that's to... that?
What's that for?
I don't know. They wanted to do something slightly fancier looking.
Remember when Trahern was the most hated card in Gwent?
Yeah, that's actually like a net big... Like, that's actually...
It's a round 1 card, so it's a buff.
It's definitely a buff. It's like a significant buff, too.
Like, the big problem with Trahern is that it wasn't trading up provisions as severely when you hit something good when it was an 8.
Yeah.
Now it's a 6.
I think that might get played. And, I don't like it. It's like another... It's another Cantarella synergy, too. This is like... Literally, Miamon Traherned me this month, and then he Cantarella'd into my Vernaciel. And then I lost because I didn't have a Vernaciel, and he played a free Vernaciel round 1.
So personally, I didn't have a big problem with Trahern back when it was being played, but people hated this card. The vitriol around Trahern was nuts, even among like players you wouldn't expect to be angry about cards.
This is gonna be...
Like, this frustrated pro players.
This is gonna frustrate the fuck out of people. I'm going to be running Trahern, and I'm going to be fucking frustrated when I whiff it completely.
Or, like, you draw it in round 3 and have to mulligan it. When you have 4 provision cards that you'd rather mulligan.
Yeah. They nerfed Vincent? I'm kind of sad about that. I thought Vincent was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know why they nerfed Vincent.
Like, there were people saying Vincent OP for, like, the first, like, 5 days of the meta.
Then people realized they were being real silly. Yeah.
And, yeah.
It wasn't seeing play unless you're trying to, like, multi-scenario. You just needed the aristocrats.
It did see play in a few formation decks, actually. Like, a few of the Radia ones. And I think it was pretty good in Radia, honestly. Like, it's a decent control card, but it's just like... I thought it was a cool control card. I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Exactly. It usually wasn't
Like,
playing for
I
crazy
guess-
value in the Radia deck.
Yeah. The logic is sometimes it hates something out, but, like, not really. You can always play around it. Is it, like... It's not like it breaks the game if it kills a siege tower.
Exactly. Like, the biggest blowout was when you hit, like, your opponent's cave troll. Something like that.
Yeah. But you're playing a fucking cave troll. Cave troll getting invoed is already, like, relatively a blowout.
Yep.
Like, in some cases, I would rather people Vincent my Fiffian than invo it. Because they would just Vincent it and I would just Asir it, and then round 3 it would force the invo or at least, like, do something good.
That's fair. Okay, Syndicate. There's... Whoa, there's a lot here. Insanity keyword now properly mentions how it works. Okay, I like my cards telling me what they do. Yeah, the Congregate change. Horson deals an extra point of damage. Vinci gets an extra provision. King of Beggars gets an extra provision. And Wildcard loses a provision. So, was any of the other leader abilities within 2 provisions of Wildcard?
Maybe Congregate.
Really?
I would say maybe Congregate. Like, the other thing you need to take into account here is Radia got nerfed, which there's still going to be a lot of Radia, who are we fucking kidding? But that makes Graydon less good overall.
Oh, true.
Like, that was part of my issue with Radia. That's why I was very upset when she got Prov nerf instead of body nerf, was it's like, even, like, the effects of Radia go so fucking far in this meta. It's like, if you're playing Syndicate, you're playing Graydon.deck. If you're playing Northern Realms, you just auto-throw in a Vincent. Like, they're, like... People were playing Vincent Sword because Radia exists.
That's true, that's true.
And that, for a while, that was, like, auto. That was, like, the meta. And it's just, like, silly shit like that is just, like... Just, like, the fact that it warped... The fact that it was so impactful that it, like, warped what cards were good because it had such a big body and was everywhere was, like, silly to me, which is why I wanted the body nerfed.
Yeah, I get
it.
It
It would be at least, like, more of a well-rounded card that didn't just, like, skew how important tall removal was.
Yeah, like, provisions don't matter when you're going into, like, a 5-card round 3 and your opponent just has more points on their cards than you.
Yeah. It's also a big Morale target, and a lot of people complained about Morale, so, you know.
Yep. Kind of the only Morale target that a lot of, like, NR gave you, at least. Definitely the biggest.
Yeah. So they also nerfed Poison a little bit, though I expect Poison still to exist, obviously. But, like, King Cobra reduces consistency and whatnot. Overall, you're going to need fewer Purifies.
I mean, Syndicate didn't even play...
That means even if you need Graydon, you're more likely to stick it.
Sure.
So, like, less value from Wildcard utility. Wildcard often doesn't play for that many points. It's kind of more the Slander that plays for a lot of points. Like,
yeah.
Wildcard, yeah.
Well, Wildcard is the Slander.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. But, like, you can manually play Slander. I think that'll be, like, more of a thing you can do.
It's so greedy. Like, putting a Graydon in your deck with a Slander?
No, I mean, if you're doing that, you're playing 2. You're not playing 1.
Sure, but, like, you still need your opponent to not have Purifies.
Slander's, like, reasonable. You can throw in a Menge if you really need the consistency.
Yeah, I don't know. This seems like the same logic that made people more skeptical
they
of...
gave other buffs to Congregate, too. Congregate was surprisingly decent. It wasn't, like, great, but it was... I would rate it serviceable.
It's true. I don't know. The way I look at Wildcard is if you're not Wildcard, I would not feel safe playing Graydon.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't throw Graydon into Congregate.
Okay, so we agree there.
Archetype. Yeah.
Yeah.
Graydon and Congregate go, like... Because Congregate has too many Congregate-specific cards.
Sure.
I don't think any of the other ones were within 2 provisions, but it's hard to say. Jackpot in a very specific deck was, like, theoretically usable. They didn't buff DJ. DJ was, like, the other one I would have considered.
I thought DJ was the closest one before the buffs,
I agreed.
But even then, I don't think DJ was within 2. I think DJ was, like, 3 or 4.
Yeah, well, like, being able to last say Graydon was just so important. Being able to Graydon for tempo in round 2 is so important.
Yeah, Graydon was very much carrying the faction.
Yeah.
So Past Floor rework, Tunneldrill change, we saw that. Hammond's change, we saw that. Justice, Excommunication. I don't think I told you about
these
Plunder.
are under Syndicate, even though it's really like a Skellig card.
Yeah. So Eventide Plunder is gain 4 coins. If your opponent controls an artifact, gain 6 instead.
That seems like... Yeah? It's
I just don't
actually
know.
not... I was gonna shit talk it.
It's not bad.
It's not that bad. But I think it's bad.
I agree. It's taking the place of like a 4 provision card. 4 provision Syndicate cards are
Like-
really important.
You compare it to Fist Tech, and it's
Exactly.
like,
Even just comparing it to like a poison, because you're gonna have to cut a poison to play this.
yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Syndicate 4P poisons, but like with the Cobra nerf,
Well,
they're gonna
yeah,
be that much more. Yeah.
exactly. I'm a pretty big fan of them now.
Like you already have potentially 2 fewer of them if you're running like full poison. Yeah.
Recession, we saw this. Temple Guard power changed from 2 to 3. So it plays as a 6 for 4 now, if you get full targets.
Wait,
It's
what
the,
is?
it's the NR hybrid.
It's the. Wowie.
People played it in the some
mean,
Redea
it's-
variants.
Yeah, you could run it with like Visigurd nonsense. Sort of.
Horse and Senior, provision cost from 10 to 8. Whoa.
That's good.
That's a big buff.
I think Senior will get played.
Definitely.
Probably not because of crime synergy. Probably just as a purify. Like, literally just play that on Rot Tosser and it's the nuts. You play like 1 crime ever.
Oh, holy shit, yeah. It's just hard counters Route Tossie. Yikes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to see it. I like my boy.
Whoa, that's
Senior,
like...
that was all of my favorite Syndicate decks I've built have involved Senior. Like the ones I've had the most fun playing. Other than I guess like there was the one horse and I got to like super high MMR that was kind of just bounty and I enjoyed that deck. But all of my other ones were Seniors. I love my Senior.
Siggy is
my elders.
back at 12p.
Yeah.
Collusion gets a provision cheaper. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
My
that's a
6-point
change
card.
needed. Oh my god. I just wanted it to get a Salamander tag. I think that would have been cool.
I
don't
really
give a
wanted to
fuck.
believe in Collusion. I thought the
don't give
idea
a
was
fuck
kind of
if
cool.
The Salamander are in Witcher 1 and all the other factions are in Witcher 3. It's just like, give it. It's Syndicate. You're already lumping them together. Just
Yeah.
fucking at least act like they're a faction. It's like such a logical buff for such like a weird card. Because like anyone who's not super familiar with Witcher is just going to be like confused. It's like, oh, wasn't there another gang that's just like not on this?
Okay, I'm gonna skip Arena Ghoul because there's a really sweet one right below it.
Oh boy, what is it?
Congregation provision cost from 5 to 4.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, we're gonna be playing Congregation.
Okay, yeah, that's one way to make.
Congregation's a real deck.
Yeah, that's one way to make Hummelfruit.
Congregation is a actual real deck. Why
That's
did
crazy.
they buff Congregation? Because I don't know. They wanted Syndicate to not just be the Graydon faction.
I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah, Congregation was not very good before. Like, even in Fart.
Arena Ghoul tribute cost changed from 2 to 1, so it's a 6 for 5 or a 7 for 5 in King of Beggars.
Wow. It can
Yep.
be Igord, which is like
Can
an 8
be.
for 10.
Wowee. Biztech Trafficker coins changed from 2 to 3. They buffed the Syndicate Poison? Or one of the Syndicate Poisons?
Whoa, they did. Fistech Traffickers. Wait, that's nuts. You can now just play it as 3 gain 3. It's literally a better beggar.
Well, the Poison's
guess
one of your
Poison's
units,
one
which
of your units.
could matter. And you have to have a unit in play, so you can't just like
Yeah.
take a dry pass with it.
Sure, but that's crazy. Fistech Trafficker actually buffing poison. Like, they act... I think this matters more than we're all going from 9 to 10 for Syndicate. I think this is a net buff to poison and Syndicate, some syndicates weren't playing Morale already.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? What poisons they won units? I
A syndicate player in a matchup where the opponent doesn't have a poison effect.
correct.
Wowie.
I'm glad to see someone's more tired than me.
It's about the option value. It's not. Yeah. Okay, so that's the patch notes. Chat was telling me the game can't be launched. I'm
Oh, good.
gonna see how true that is.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I will attempt to launch it. Oh, updating. Oh, never mind. I'm being asleep. I don't want to wait for it to update.
You can. You just can't play. One of those. Okay. In that case, we'll probably end the stream pretty soon.
Like, all right. Well, it was fun.
It was fun.
Enjoy your new patch, chat.
Always good to have you on, Mr.
I'm
Dream.
going to bed.
I don't blame
Always
you.
good to be on,
Go on.
Mr. Net. Yeah.
Do you want to plug anything?
I rate Pad Thai pretty good. Surprisingly easy to do from scratch. Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you around. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. There should be other videos you can watch over here and over here. Be sure to check out my Patreon in the video description. I stream every day on Twitch from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. and you can find that link in the description below as well. Deck lists are in the description as always. Thanks for watching.